Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a journey into the past with a Contra A39 Raisin Black by Belhamel, a watch that merges retro design elements with modern reliability. Now this watch for me is more than just the watch, it's a statement for those who admire retro style but require today's dependability. And to properly road test this watch, I took it around two fantastic French chateaux. Firstly, the stunning Chateau de Pierrefonds, situated in the commune of Pierrefonds in northern France, before heading off to the picturesque Chateau de Chantilly, one of the finest jewels in the crown of France's cultural heritage. Now both these chateaux, with their deep heritage and striking architecture, provided, I feel, the perfect backdrop to showcase the retro flair of this lovely little watch.
Bonjour Ed. Thanks for visiting Chantilly and Pierrefonds here in France. On behalf of all animals in France, we very much love your watch reviews.
And of course, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this watch, so please do leave me a comment at the end of my vid and hit the subscribe button now for more watch reviews in the future. So just to reiterate what was said in the 90-second spec, the Contra A39 comes in at 11.8mm thick, 39mm in diameter, 47mm lug to lug, 20mm at the lug, with this 316L stainless steel bracelet tapering down to 16mm by the time it reaches the milled push button micro adjustable sign clasp. The dial of the Contra A39 truly captures the essence of its retro charm. The raisin hue is a deep matte black that adds personality without being too bold. You have tapered down baton style hour markers applied in a sleek silver tone, hovering just above the dial, creating subtle depth. Now the minute markers are in crisp white and contrast nicely with the vibrant orange accents at the 5-minute intervals, all adding to the watch's retro appeal. The absence of a date window keeps the design wonderfully clean and balanced in my opinion, with the Belhamel logo sitting proudly under the 12 o'clock marker, and just above the 6 the product and water resistance specs are featured. And notice that the product spec is in a striking cyan blue, which is a wonderful colour and a playful nod to the retro vibes that define this watch. I mean, it's a very sleek dial with all the design elements fitting in perfectly well. The hands of the Contra A39 are a true nod to retro style, with a high polished diamond cut finish that enhances their sharp refined look. Their distinctive triangular shape, featuring a broad base, tapers elegantly to a flat tip, a flat point, which I really like, and complements those tapered baton hour markers very well indeed. And those hands not only add visual depth but also brings a bold, I guess vintage flair to the overall design of this watch. Now these hands do catch the light absolutely beautifully too, making them stand out against the matte dial whilst maintaining excellent legibility. Their geometric precision and mirror-like polish perfectly complements the retro aesthetic of this watch too, and the second hand has this wonderful orange triangle offset against the tip, which is also an orange, giving off this feel that it's the fetching of an arrow, with the rest of the second hand note in both black and white, the knock of the arrow. It really is a bold addition to the handset that really does work for me. Now protecting that stunning dial and handset is a domed sapphire, and offers a slight distortion at the edges when viewed from certain angles, and actually gives this watch that classic old school vibe, yet the sapphire ensures scratch resistance. This crystal also has an anti-reflective coating, providing clear visibility even in bright daylight. And speaking of visibility, when I was strolling through the serene grounds of the Chateau de Chantilly, the crystal performed absolutely beautifully. I mean, it was a very bright and sunny day with beautiful blue skies, and actually the way it played with the sunlight made the dial come alive, highlighting in particular those lovely hands. The bezel on the Contra A39 is slim and understated, letting the dial take centre stage. You'll find numerals at the 15, 30 and 45 marks, the only numerals on the entire watch, less of course that water resistance status above the 6. It also features a 15-minute countdown, essential for any dive watch. Now at the 12 o'clock position there's a standout inverted triangle sporting a Lume pip, accented by bright orange that really pops. While Belhamel informed me that the orange colour was selected purely for design purposes, it's actually a fitting coincidence that it's also a subtle nod to the brand's Dutch heritage. Now the name Belhamel comes from an old Dutch word for ram that leads the herd, wearing a bell so the shepherd can keep track. In Dutch it's also used to describe someone who goes against the norm. The Contra A39 is equipped with Swiss Superluminova BGW9 on the hands, hour markers, the hour tip seconds hand and the Lume pip on the bezel, and this particular Lume with its crisp blue glow is one of my absolute favourites. It strikes that perfect balance between brightness and longevity, ensuring excellent legibility in low light conditions. So whether you're underwater, in the dark or simply checking the time after dark, the BGW9 Lume gives the watch a vibrant glow that enhances both its functionality and its retro-inspired aesthetic. The case of the Contra A39 is crafted from polished 316L marine grade stainless steel and exudes a very, retro elegance with a little bit of modern flair. And despite its 11.8mm thickness, the case actually feels much sleeker, much slimmer, thanks to its gracefully curved profile. The finely polished chamfers follow that smooth curvature, offering a subtle contrast to the brushed sides, and actually the addition of polished chamfers adds a hint of refined glamour, I feel, to this watch, giving the watch a polished yet nostalgic vibe that recalls the sleek, understated aesthetics of retro designs. It really is a fantastic looking case that really complements the key colours of black, cyan and orange on the dial and hands through its retro design. The crown positioned at 3 o'clock is a screw down crown featuring the Belhamel logo for a touch of added detail. Its knurled edges ensure a solid grip for effortless adjustments even in wet conditions. And beyond the crown's design, it's important to highlight the watch's robust 300 metre, that's 30 ATMs of water resistance, making it more than capable for serious underwater adventures while still looking stylish on land. Now this level of water resistance ensures the Contra A39 is ready for anything from casual swims to deep dives, offering both reliability and, more importantly, peace of mind for all those divers out there. The Contra A39 features the Miyota 9039 automatic movement from their premium 9000 line, 28,800 bph, 24 joules, 42 hours of power reserve, hand-windable hacking. This is a true no-date movement with no phantom crown position, and this movement will simply not let you down. And that movement is contained behind this screw-down caseback featuring a hydraulically oil-pressed Contra Aqua emblem with a polished finish. Now while the design is fairly minimalist, it carries a certain charm that complements the watch's retro appeal. And actually, just excuse the state of this caseback, I did road test it for the summer in France before filming it, so it does have a little bit of wear and tear. Now around that emblem you'll find the essential specs engraved, including water resistance and the model's limited edition number. I mean, each piece is uniquely numbered up to 500, ensuring that every owner holds a truly exclusive timepiece. This numbering system adds an extra layer of collectability and individuality, something in which you would expect to find with a true microbrand with limited production numbers. Now the bracelet on the Contra A39 tapers down from 20mm down to a sleek 16mm. Now each link is hand finished, Belhamel say, with a playful mix of brushed surfaces and polished chamfers that catch the light in all the right ways. It's got that integrated look too, like it was always meant to be there, though I must say that with a bracelet not flush with the edge of the lugs, it does have this kind of sharp feel on the corners of those lugs. Now I get that this design accentuates, that retro vibe of the case, but I'm someone who would have maybe perhaps preferred an integrated bracelet that fits flush to the edge of the lugs and the case. But then saying that, I guess it wouldn't be against the norm, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful bracelet. It tapers down to a very slender 16mm to this push button milled clasp, complete with micro adjustments to hug your wrist just right, no matter what the size of your wrists. And if you're the type to swap straps on a whim, you'll absolutely love the quick release spring bars too. On my 7.5 inch wrist, the Contra A39 wears, well, what can I say, it's as comfortable as they get, 39mm in diameter, and that may be small in spec for my size wrist, but it genuinely wears much more like a 40mm, so actually feels like the sizing hits a sweet spot for me. The 47mm look to look gives it a nice elongated feel on the wrist too, complementing the retro case shape, and actually those right angles at the lugs that lead into the strap have kind of grown on me as time goes by. Now the Contra A39 is light on the wrist, but it still has enough heft to remind you that you're wearing a lot of steel. Now I always wear my watch on my left wrist in this section of my review, but as you probably have already seen, I do wear my watch on my right wrist by default. Now unfortunately for us right wrist wearers, as you roll your wrist around to showcase that lovely and fairly large clasp, you do get an upside down logo, which is a little pet hate of mine, I hate to say, but something that will definitely not affect 99% of watch wearers out there. Now I wore it around the stunning towns of Chantilly and Pierrefonds in northern France, where I spent the summer wearing Nike Air Force 1 shorts and a tee back in August 24, when the mercury was hitting 32 degrees, and it felt lovely on the wrist, I have to say. In terms of price, the Contra A39 Raisin Black is currently available today, the 16th of October 2024, for 319 Great British Pounds. Now that's around about 420 USD, 380 euros, and that's pre-order for a December 2024 delivery target, and that price point for me represents fantastic value for money. Now you're getting a lot of watch for the price, a beautiful retro inspired design, a reliable automatic movement, and solid craftsmanship, all for a price that hopefully won't break the bank. Now it's a watch that not only looks good but feels good on the wrist too, making it a great choice for anyone to add a touch of retro flair to their collection. But just bear in mind that this price point will be available only up until the end of November 2024, or even sooner if pre-orders hit a certain threshold, so my advice would be to play it safe and get that order in straight away.
So, after spending some quality time with the Contra A39 in France this summer, it's clear that this watch is much more than a nostalgic nod to the past. Belhamel have succeeded in creating a timepiece that expertly blends retro style with modern sensibility, without sacrificing either. From the stunning matte black dial, accented by playful pops of orange and cyan, to the case shape, every detail feels very carefully considered and thoughtfully executed. And the retro-inspired design, combined with a robust 300-meter water resistance and reliable Miyota 9039 movement, offers a perfect balance of form and function. What truly sets this watch apart is how it successfully embodies the retro vibe without veering into a mere replication of past designs, a crucial distinction in today's saturated market. And from a marketing perspective, and I'm saying this as a marketeer myself in my day job, I have to commend Belhamel for their strategic execution. For me, they've masterfully distilled the essence of the Contra A39 into their branding, creating a cohesive narrative that resonates across all touch points. Their use of visual storytelling through high quality imagery, the carefully selected typography on their website, and the tone of voice too, and the overall brand presentation are perfectly aligned to appeal to a discerning audience that values exactly what this watch is all about. This really is a textbook example of brand positioning and marketing done right. So through thoughtful design, consistent branding, and a well-executed digital presence, Belhamel have created a product that really is cool as fuck.
Je n'ai pas bougé mes membres depuis 4 siècles. If I use it again to slowly start getting it to every day, that means the stuff my face will go away. But I'm gonna strip. Oh no.
If you like retro style watches, why not take a look at my review of the Bentley design Gladiator X7000, whereby I also take the watch around Perth in Scotland, as well as the home of the Kelpies. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day.